All right, y'all, so jumping right into the video, I have me a glass of wine. You get whatever you want to get. Wine, liquor, water, juice, whatever. Anyway, my face is already done. Honestly, I wasn't going to do a chit chat, but I thought, why not add a chit chat? Just really reflecting over the year we've had. I know that the year has been different for different ones, but for me, I would say this year has been one of the worst ever. I think this probably has been like the worst year ever. But I just wanted to take a moment and reflect over the year. I mean, if you've had a shitty year or a good year, just let me know down in the comment box below how it's been for you. And what do you want to accomplish or achieve next year? Do you have any regrets on anything you've done this year? Just leave me some feedback down in the comment box below. But I think this year has been one of the worst for me. It's just because I've suffered so many losses this year. I lost a grandfather. Then right after that, I ended like almost, if not more than, a 10-year friendship. I ended that. And then I lost an aunt, and then I just lost a cousin. And it's just like, it seems like loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. And oh, and then I lost something that I was working on that I was very excited about. It fell through. It's just like, you know, like, dang, can I catch a break? I had COVID this year. I left the first job I had in my field. Left that fell through. Almost lost my mental health to that because of that job. Like, it's been a rough and a hell of a year. Like, and it's not just me that suffered losses. And keep in mind, when I say losses, even though I've had a couple of family members pass this year, I'm not talking about just to death. I mean, like I said, I ended a friendship. I ended a couple of friendships, actually. You know, and this is like long-term friendships. Losing a friend is one of the hardest. Somebody that you trusted, somebody that you hung out with. Like, it's definitely hard to do. You know, and I haven't really talked about it to anyone. But at the end of the day, when it comes to severing ties with a friendship, a relationship, whatever the case may be, I think the best thing to do is to put yourself first. Is this person really giving the same energy that you're giving? Are they there for you when you honestly, truly need it? Or are they only there for you when it benefits you? That's honestly just what it comes down to. Because at the end of the day, the only person that truly matters is you, your well-being. Like, you should be your first priority. I've just taken so many losses this year that at this point, like, I'm all out of words of encouragement. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, I honestly don't. And I said the other day on one of my social medias, which if you're not following me, definitely follow me. I was just like, I can't even say that it'll necessarily get better. I like the term easier more than I like the term better. But I guess my reasoning can also mean that it does get better. Because I had a cousin to say, well, you know, I feel like it does get better. But I just, in a way, I definitely understood her viewpoint. It's just, I think I like easier better. Because when I think of better, I think of you're sick and then you get well again. I don't think you ever get well again after losing someone who was a vital or an important piece of your life, your journey, etc. I feel like it gets easier to continue on without them. That love is still there. That hurt that you experience when losing them is still there. You've just learned to push it deeper, down deeper. You've learned to push it aside more. Like, it's just different. It's easier. That's how I can explain grief and getting over losing someone who was vital to you, losing someone who was important to you, losing someone that you love for and cared for deeply. Whether that's losing them to death or losing them to disagreements or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I just pray and hope that next year is better. Next year is better. I'm focusing more on me next year. With Christmas coming up, by the time you see this, Christmas is probably gone. No, Christmas is definitely gone by the time you see this. I'm filming this on the 23rd, so by the time you see this, Christmas is definitely going to be past. But this Christmas, I splurged somewhat on Christmas gifts, but I also made it a point to spoil myself this year. This is another Christmas year where I'm single, which I'm not really mad at all. I'm not disappointed about that at all. It's just, I've learned this year to put myself first, because nobody gonna treat me how I want to be treated more than I can treat myself, if that makes sense. Like, nobody can spoil me like I can spoil me. So why would I continue to put others before me, if that makes sense? So that's more of what I'm going to be focused on next year. More self-love, more self-care. Really bogging down in my faith as well, because I was really supposed to lose my shit when I lost my granddad. I lost my granddad on January 20th, and probably a couple of days to no longer than a week later, I ended my friendship with my best friend of like 10 years. So I was really supposed to lose my shit, but I thank God for really giving me the strength I needed to experience both losses. Because without him, I probably would have lost my shit. Legit, no joke. And people be like, oh, well, it's easy to cut friends off, or it's easy to end friendships. Nah, I beg to differ. Because, yeah, they may not be dying, and you may still have the opportunity of rekindling that friendship later on down the line, or, you'll always see them again, more than likely, especially if y'all live in the same city or run in the same circles. But it's the fact of, like, for me personally, it's the fact of, this was someone who I trusted, I adored, like dang near at one point in time moved in with. Like, your family is literally my family is literally your family. Like, it was the point where you see one, you see the other, or the other one is not that far behind. More than likely, we're on the phone with each other. Like, I got your back. You're supposed to have my back. Freaking frack. I mean, we were tight, close. Like, I trusted this hoe. I really did. I was there for her through thick and thin. And I'm not saying throughout the whole friendship she wasn't there for me. It's just the fact of, I don't care. It's the fact of, I always show up. We can go weeks without talking. We can go days without talking. If something happens, I'm there. Like, literally, I'm there. Like you ain't even gotta ask me, well, can you be here? Can you do this? I'm there and I'm doing it. I promise you, I give my word. I do my best to not only be a good person, but to be a good friend, because I give what I desire, or I give what I long for. But it's the fact of, I felt like, towards the end, that was never reciprocated. And I'm not going to go into details at all because it's nobody's business. It's just the fact of, I don't ask people for anything. I don't ask people for nothing at all. But it's the fact of, if I'm going through something major, i.e. losing one of the last father figures I have left, watching him take his last breath, actually being by his side as he take his last breath. If I go through something like that, somebody losing someone who was a staple in my life, losing someone who raised me, I would expect my friends to be there for me, but I guess I wanted too much. I guess I expected too much. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not gonna dwell on it because it is what it is. Okay, so my mic cut off. But like I was saying, I tell anybody who comes to me for advice, like, don't come to me for advice if you expect me to sugarcoat it, if you expect me to agree to your version, or whatever the case may be. Like, I won't always take your side. Like, I'm going to tell you what I think, give you my perspective, but I'm never going to tell you, oh, you should do this. I ain't gonna say I will never. I try to not give advice in that way, because at the end of the day, my way may not be the best way for you. What I think, you may not agree with, and that's fine. I don't give advice for you to take it, or I don't give advice for you to do what I say, because at the end of the day, like, you grown as hell, or you're of age to make your own decision. It's just the fact of, with certain things, like, for example, if one of my friends was to come to me about their significant other or someone they talk to, and like, they're doing this wrong, that wrong, making you feel this way, that way, not being considerate, I'm the type of person, or I've become the type of person that will use active listening, right? So, say for instance, you come to me and you be like, well, Bob is entertaining other women. I feel like he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't pay me any attention. He doesn't reciprocate the love and affection that I give. He doesn't know my love language. He doesn't try to know my love language. But he's entertaining all these other females. He's doing this, he's doing that, and third. I will say to you, in my own way, so basically, he's not paying attention to you, but paying attention to other women. At that point, you should say, yeah. And then I would say, so you go out here and you show love to him based on his love language, but he can't or won't or both do the same for you? At that point, you may say, yeah. And at this point, I'm like, so what does that mean to you? Like, what does that say to you? And it allows you to actually think and reflect on it. Well, damn, he really don't give two shits about me, or he really doesn't care for me the way that I care for him. And then I may say or suggest, well, if it was me, sometimes, depending on the person, I would say if it was me, I may sit down and have a conversation with him. Look, I love you. I believe you love me, or I hope you love me, but I can't be in a half-ass relationship. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this, 100%. I'm not asking you to go out here and buy me a Mercedes, or I'm not asking you to go to heaven and bring God down here for me. I'm just asking you to show me effort. You know, if I like gifts, buy me flowers every 2 weeks or once a month. If I like acts of service, like have my car washed, or have my oil changed. You know, like, I will, that's how the conversation would go. And hopefully it goes right and not left. But at that point, if you go and have that conversation with them, I can't determine how it'll go. But that's the advice I would give. That's what advice from Miranda looks like. I try my best to never be like, well, bitch, you should leave him. Sometimes it slips out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. Sometimes it do slip out. And usually if it does slip out, then he really ain't shit. But I try my hardest and my best to not tell another person to leave their significant other. I try to show you what you've told me. So if I say it back to you and you like, damn, yeah, that don't sound right, then okay, sis, that don't sound right. So check that. Do what you need to do to check that. Like, figure out what your next steps is. Because if I were to tell you what you told me, but me being your situation, then what would you say? And like I said, I don't sugarcoat it at all. Like, I don't. Now, I have learned, as some of my younger sisters are getting older, I have learned, or more people I've become friends with, I have learned that not everybody can take the harshness that I give, because I'm a Leo. Ride or die, in and out, I'm a Leo. So I'm very hard. I'm very tough. If your feelings, I don't give a dang about your feelings. Like, F you. Like, this is what it is. Like, toughen up. But I have learned how to censor that a little bit. I don't even know if censor is the right word, but I've learned how to, like, kind of tone it down some, because not everybody can take that harshness. And so I've learned how to basically, it's not sugarcoating, because the meaning behind it is going to be the same, whether I say it like harsh and tough or whether I say it a little bit softer. So I have learned, and actually I think I've only learned that this year, honestly, because before I used to be like, oh, excuse me. Before this year, I used to be like, well, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? Okay, you telling me that the shit that I'm saying that I got from you is effed up, but you still with it? Like, what? Like, he ain't doing what? And that's okay. I kind of toned it down a little bit this year, so I guess kudos to me, I guess. All right, I done went off camera and cut my crease, and I don't even know where I was or what I was talking about, honestly, but I did a poll on Instagram the other day when I was going to film this and asked y'all what y'all wanted me to talk about. And the topics I got was, of course, this year in grief. And then I got some for relationships. Then I got some for sex. And I mean, relationships, I don't know if I'm the best expert to talk about relationships. I always talk about relationships, though, when I do my chit chats. I mean, whatever you think is best for you, hey, go for it. But I do strongly advise for someone, especially if you've either been in a long-term relationship, or if you've always been in a relationship, to just take time for self. Don't always feel like you gotta be with somebody. Don't do that. Cause I mean, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you have a lot to offer. Like, there's no reason for you to continuously take bull crap from a male or a female. Like, take some time to figure out who you are alone. So that way when you meet the man or woman that God has for you, you will be right when that person comes along. So just take some time for yourself. I'm big on that, y'all. I have been single for too long now, honestly. Even though sometimes it feels like I'm not single, but that's another story for another day. But I have, during this time of being single, I've learned some things about myself. I've learned what my love language is. I've learned what I like, what I don't like. I've just learned various things that I don't think I would be able to learn if I was tied down to someone. Just because you're you don't mean you know everything about yourself. I mean, and being in a relationship can block certain things. But also, I feel though, I guess in terms of relationship, don't be so quick to give up on your significant other. But at the same time, don't continue to take any and everything from your significant other as well. Yeah, have patience and have a little understanding, but baby, don't continue to take bullcrap from him or her. And don't continue to let him or her treat you any other kind of way. If you've sat down and at least attempted to have the conversation with them, hey, I don't like what you do when you do X, Y, and Z. I don't like how you talk to me, or I don't like how you're never here. I don't like whatever the case may be. If you've had those conversations and they still continue to do the same old thing, then maybe it's best if you leave. Sometimes being apart is a good thing. You really got to let them see that you are the best thing that happened to them. Sometimes they continue to do the same old thing because she ain't gonna never leave me, or he ain't gonna never leave me. So why would I change? Sometimes you gotta show them, all right, bet, little bitch. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to be like, all right, bet. And pack your stuff and leave. Don't text them. Don't call them. Don't answer their texts. Don't answer their calls. None of that. Show them that you're really about it. Don't just be talking to her. If you don't get your mess together, then I'm going to leave you. And then never leave. You're just proving them right. Sometimes separation is best. And if it's meant to be, it will come back. Especially if you take that time to work on self and actually analyze, okay, what did I do that could have possibly led us to this point of separation? And then fix that. And don't be like, well, I'm perfect. I ain't do nothing wrong. Okay, that's your problem there. That's your problem there. You think you don't do nothing wrong. And also, another piece of relationship advice. Don't have everybody in your business. Don't have everybody in your business. And I see this a lot with my generation and the younger generation. Like, and it happens a lot on Facebook more than it do Instagram and Twitter. Like when a couple starts to argue or have some type of turbulence in their relationship. Oh, now you posting niggas ain't shit. Now you posting I'm a woman, or I can make it with or without you. I don't need a man. Da, 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 da. You posting all this stuff. But 5 minutes ago, when y'all were good, what did none of that was what you was posting. Now the people who are looking at your significant other, oh, now they notice, oh, something ain't right. They fussing. Now they gonna try and creep in. And then you have another problem in your relationship. Don't do that. Keep your relationship off social media. Well, not keep your relationship off social media. Keep your problems off social media. Because you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking at you. Like, you never know. So just keep that to yourself. And also keep your family out your relationship. That's the biggest thing. Keep your family out your relationship. If y'all bickering, they should know. Because at the end of the day, you be like, John hit me. Oh, hell. Now you got your people looking for John John. You got your people looking for John John, and next thing you know, the next day, you and John John back cool. Meanwhile, your family's still looking for John John. Looking to fuck him up. Don't know. It's different if you go to your mom or your godmom or whoever for like advice. That's different. But learn how to ask for advice without telling your business. But I'm no relationship expert. I am single, so I may not be the best person to take advice from. That's cool. And like I said, the other topic that people wanted me to discuss was sex. And I don't know. I've never talked about sex on my channel. I don't know. Like, I guess for not even just for the younger generation, but for females in general, don't sleep around. There's a difference between being a hoe and there's a difference in dating. A hoe and dating is not the same thing. If you out here hoeing, that means you busting it open for any and everybody. Or you busting it open for multiple dudes. That ain't cute. If I'm dating multiple men, that don't mean I'm busting it open for them. No, the two do not equate. No. You can date multiple people. Like, actually go on dates, conversate, and may the best man win, or the best man in this case win. But that does not mean that you sleep with every man. No, ma'am. There's nothing cute about that. At all. There's nothing cute about that. At all. Also, for my women and my guys, use protection. I don't care how long you've known this person, unless like y'all been in a serious, honest, truthful, committed relationship, then okay, that may be different. But if this is just like somebody random, come on now, do the right thing. Use protection. Use protection, because not only can you get diseases, you can mess around and get stuck with a lifelong commitment, and that commitment is a baby. And half of y'all don't want no kids right now, or can't afford kids right now. Half of y'all are probably still babies your dang self, so you don't need no kid right now. It's just be smart about it. If you think you grown enough to have sex, be grown enough to have safe sex. Also, on the other hand, if you are celibate, or if you're 100% waiting until marriage and you meet somebody and they don't agree with it, sis, that's not the person for you. That's not the person for you. Do not twist your values, your morals, your beliefs to fit a man, or do not, change anything about yourself for a woman. Do not do that. That kind of makes you look weak. And if that's what you believe in, if that's what you want to do, do it. Do it. Don't let nobody shake you. Don't let nobody shake your faith, your beliefs, your values, your morals, nothing. And ain't nothing wrong with you for wanting to wait till the man God has for you, or waiting for the woman that God has for you. Nothing at all. That is something to be very proud of. Because I promise you, ain't nothing proud about having 10 plus bodies. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. That ain't cute. I understand, being young and No. No. Ain't nothing sexier about a woman going into a room full of men and a minimum amount of the men know her intimately, if any at all. Ain't nothing sexy about that. Ain't nothing sexier than that about a woman. So if you celibate, if you want to be celibate, that's your thing, baby, I commend you. Do that and stick to that. Don't let nobody make you feel weird. Also, I guess birth control goes with sex. To each his own. I didn't get on birth control till after high school. So, if you feel like you won't remember to wrap it up every time, or, you know, like, using condoms ain't 100% effective anyway. So if you just feel better being on birth control, then have that conversation with the right people, parents, if you're underage, and always have that conversation with your OBGYN, of course. But other than that, I mean, I ain't gonna tell nobody how their sex life should be. That's not my place. Different strokes for different folks. So, I mean, just be smart about it. That's basically the only message I can give when it comes to sex. Just be smart about it. If the condom broke and you know you ain't ready for a baby, you got 72 hours to go to the pharmacy and get a plan B. And you don't have to get the name brand, the off brand. The $40, $30 pill works the same as the $50, $60 pill. I'm just keeping it 100. Don't let nobody make you feel like you got to go out here and spend $60 on a pill. Baby, the $30, $40 pill works just as fine, just as good. Trust me, I know. I also feel like, I don't know, if you're part of the younger generation, like if you're part of the 2000 babies, y'all let me know if you feel like it's weird to talk about sex. Like, even with your friends, like your parents, I can understand. But do y'all feel like it's weird to talk about sex even with your friends? Like, some of these young females that I've come in contact with lately, they think it's just weird and nasty. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how is it weird? How is it nasty? It's sex. I mean, at some point in life, everybody do it. And you mean to tell me, like, you not gonna talk to your girlfriends about it? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's important to get you at least one good girlfriend that you talk about it with, and not necessarily go into details like, girl, that man picked me up and slammed me against the wall and took my soul. I ain't necessarily saying go into detail like that, but like, if something felt wrong during the act, if something happened with your body that was new to you, I'm not necessarily talking about like he smelled funny or you smelled funny or anything like that. Like, if something just happened that you aren't used to and you don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. If something like that happens, then that's what you got your girlfriends for. So you can be like, well, girl, my body did this. Like, you ever experienced that? Like, has that ever happened to you before? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me and my friends. Girl, we gonna kiki about it. We gonna kiki about it, honey. We gonna kiki about some pee-pee. We gonna kiki about that little wee-wee. But, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment box below. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I talked about grief. I talked about loss. I've talked about relationships a little bit. I even talked about a little bit of sex. So we're ending the year on a good note. We are. I pray that next year is better than this year was for you, for me, for us, for the world. I pray that we get stronger, smarter, better next year. I hope that we have more blessings and wins in comparison to losses next year. I just pray for all your dreams to come true. I pray for blessings, abundance of blessings on you, on your family, on your loved ones, on your friends. I pray greatness over your life. This year may not have been your best year. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with having an off period. You know, it's a setback for a comeback. You know, like, get up, dust yourself off, and try again. You know, it's gonna be all right. Don't let the negative stuff define you or who you are and what you're destined for. Don't let them losses, them negative vibes, them negative energy, don't let that deter you from what God has for you. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and definitely subscribe. I plan. I promise I plan, like I do every year, to be more consistent next year than I was this year. It's just hard working full-time and being a full-time grad student. It's difficult, but I'm gonna try to make it shake, even if that means staying up late at night recording. Cause I'd rather stay up late than to wake up early. Come on, somebody. But I will try my best to do what I do to be more consistent next year. Of course, sticking to my Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Uploading at noon. You know, we just gonna see what to do. I'm not making any promises because I don't want to make any promises that I cannot keep. But yeah, I pray that you have a blessed new year. I pray that you subscribed. I pray that you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. And yeah, bye. Oh, y'all, I'm so weird. Bye.